I'm thinking something like...
What a way to start.
I swear to God, if you guys saw us every time... I think it's something... Well, when we're in the studio, we have a guest.
Yeah, we got to be professional.
Exactly.
So we get here, we're both like...
Exactly. I'm looking... It's going to be interesting when we both show up and we're like, hey, like, so good and calm.
Sometimes we do that.
It's true, but there's always something. Which is
That's
the
just life.
point of this podcast. Yeah.
Human. Yeah.
Exactly.
So tell me what's on your mind.
Oh, God. I'm kind of scared to, like, talk about it because it's so fresh.
Yeah. That's probably the best time to talk about it, though. You're working through it.
Yeah. Fuck, I am. I am. So it's about, like, beauty, and there's so much in there. I'm like, whoa. Two things that I'm, like, thinking about right now.
Yeah.
One is... Well, let's talk about the one that hurts the most.
Yeah. You want to talk about that? Go for it. What hurts the most?
Fuck, this is hard.
It's okay.
I'm already gonna start crying. Okay.
Tears are good. It's important.
Why?
You're important.
Aw. Okay. And where do I want to start? I'm having trouble with feeling beautiful. Oh my God, you guys just turned this on and I'm just crying.
That's how we do it.
Yeah, that's true.
What part of you is having the most trouble with this? Because I know there's a part of you that loves you and thinks you're beautiful
Yes,
and
girl.
expresses that to you a lot. So what part of you, it's not all of you, is having trouble feeling beautiful?
My teenage self is in there thick.
Yeah.
And that's so interesting that you said that, because I have my now self has been, I'm like, dude, when I look at pictures or I look at videos, because I'm
Or look in the mirror, you're like, girl, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm beautiful, but I almost started with saying that, like, I know I'm beautiful, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Even though I know I am.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got this teenage part. It's more at the surface right now.
Yeah.
Very much present for you. Is it the Netflix stuff and everything taken off? Is that feel intertwined with this? Like more magnifying on you at all?
Maybe. My following is growing a lot. I think a lot of it does have to do with being in the public eye.
Yeah.
Because a lot of what I hear... I mean, I'm a very expressive performer. I make goofy faces.
Yes.
I'm not an influencer in that way where I've, like, got my makeup done and I've got my hair rolled out and
That's
know...
one type of influencer.
Right.
Just one type. I just want to, it feels like you're like, I'm not that kind of influencer. Like, I don't know. It felt like you were kind of down-putting yourself a little bit.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. I just want to say when it comes to influencing, there's so many ways the heart of that is you have an impact on people.
Yes.
And looks and beauty is one segment of what influencers do. I think you influence in way other ways, but are you putting yourself in that category? Like mentally of like influencing beauty wise?
I thank you for saying that. I know that I influence people in a positive way. I love myself. I love who I am to my fans and who I am online.
Yeah.
The thing that's getting to me and the thing that resonates with my teenage self too is like, I don't get, oh my God, you're gorgeous. Oh my God, like, oh my God, beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God. I make goofy faces. So I get a lot of like, oh my God, hilarious face. Or photographers be like, I got a great photo of you. And it's me like, because they enjoy that.
Yeah.
But as a young girl, as a woman, I'm like, I want to be pretty too. Like, it's just, and then I'm starting to feel lately like I have to, the reason I'm not being called pretty is because I need to learn how to do my makeup, and I need to learn how to do my hair, and I need to dress differently. And it's like, but I don't want to do that. I like wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Yeah. I like how my hair falls.
Where's that coming from, that pressure to do those things? Like, is your management tell you that, or you get comments on social media? Like, where's that I'm supposed to be doing this coming from?
No, my management, no, it's not. It's coming from, I want what I'm missing. Like, I want to hear, girl, you're gorgeous. And when I do hear that, I latch the fuck onto it. Like, I had a meeting today where someone goes, it was with a merch person, and they were like, we want to make face shirts. And he's like, the first thing he said, he was like, we want to put your pretty face on there. And then he goes, and your goofy face, you know. But he said pretty first. Yeah. I was like, you think I'm pretty? Like, I was just like, oh my God, like someone said it. And like, of course, Alex says it all the time, and I know I am, but I don't know. It's just not fun feeling like I am just like an ugly girl walking around. Oh,
is that teenage self saying that? It sounds like her idea of beauty is completely tied to looks.
Yes, and I've talked with this about I've talked in therapy about this, and you know, my therapist was like, "What is beauty?" And you know, maybe we didn't talk enough about it because it hit, and then
it can be hard then, and it's still hard now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just be honest. When my therapist and I were talking about it, something that came up, I was like, beauty in different ways, you're pretty in different ways, is what you tell ugly people. Oh.
Okay, that didn't enter my mind. But I can see how that feels that way, especially if your idea of beauty is just looks. Yeah. With I'm talking about your teenage part. Like, that's how I mean, if you think back to your experiences of what beauty looks like, do you feel like it was all like, as a younger woman, learning what that looks like, it was all looks?
Yeah, no one in high school was like, wow, you're so brilliant. Yeah. That's so beautiful. They were like, she's blonde, she's on the cheerleading team, she's tan, I like her, you know? Yeah, so it is tied to looks. And there was the whole thing with my mom saying that she hates her looks, but calling me beautiful, and everybody said we looked alike. Yeah. So it's like, what does it mean? You know?
And, I mean, realistically, as women, we want to be seen as pretty. We want to feel like we view ourselves as that, but to have others view, I mean, so it's not about, like, don't worry about wanting that. You know, I mean, we're human.
Well, it's like that, don't think about that, and then you're thinking about it.
Well, yeah, but, it's an unrealistic expectation to try to set for yourself or anybody else, to say, don't consider looks when you're thinking about beauty. Yeah. But just don't let it be the only thing.
Okay. Still feel ugly.
What would fix this for you?
That's a great question. No, that's a great question, because
like in your mind's eye, what do you feel like, what would fix this?
That is literally, before I walked in here, I asked myself that. I'm like, what would be the solution? Because it's not like I'll get someone who, like, I was in New Orleans and I walked past and I heard a and then
you're like, yes.
No, it was opposite. I was like, you fucking pig.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, depends on your mood.
There was a part of me, well, I was with a friend that constantly gets called pretty. So there was a part of me who was like, oh my God, I got one that she didn't get, you know, just to be completely honest. Yeah. But then there was another part of me that hates being fucking objectified. So I was like,
I think that's a perfect example of like teenage and adult self reacting to things.
In what way?
Well, I mean, the young teenage self was like, I got one. Yeah. The adult healthier version of you is like, don't objectify me. Yeah. Where I think I won't say young women, I think it applies to just women in general. Sometimes we take that, we're willing to be objectified in order to feel pretty.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's so true.
I know, especially before I feel like we were a little bit more woke around these things. But I remember growing up and just, you laugh off inappropriate things.
Mm-hmm.
And you do take well, it's not, they think I'm pretty.
Right.
You know, and we're willing to put up with that. And to me, that just speaks such a volume into how much we need to feel that way about ourselves. To feel that we're pretty.
Yeah.
But we've just let society define what pretty is. That it is looks and it is, the whole inside outside pretty thing. But if I'm honest, I've dealt with gaining weight with a chronic illness and having to get used to being in a bigger body that way.
Right.
And I don't know, it helps me sometimes to see just bigger bodied women accepting themselves and about beauty. And I know there's cultures where they find heavier women with more meat on their bones is more of a sexy thing. Yeah. And so it's like you've got to redefine for yourself, really. And it's not just a Band-Aid. Like, I think you have this teenage part that really thinks I'm ugly. And you've got this adult self that's constantly trying to reassure. Yeah. But do you see, you've been in that place where you've needed and sought out reassurance in your performing. And so now this is just kind of being transferred into something that you still haven't maybe worked through a little bit. So I still need this reassurance. But so what happened that helped you kind of get to the knowing part of, I'm a good comedian.
Damn.
I'm good at what I do, where no one makes you second guess that anymore.
Damn.
But you defined what that was for you.
I levitated out of this chair. Yeah, no, that's so true. The solution, ultimately, is me knowing I'm gorgeous.
But what does that mean? I know I can keep reassuring myself because that's what I think I'm supposed to say to myself. There's a difference.
Well, eventually, won't that stick?
Yeah, hopefully. And so there's repeated patterns, right? That is a big thing that drives how we respond and think and how we are. And so you can repeat that enough. I'm beautiful. I think I'm beautiful, right? And it'll start to feel more normalized for you. But it's almost like, are you desensitizing yourself enough that you're believing it versus you've also got to look at what's planted there that's telling you you're not. And you got to kind of uproot that. And then when you can replace it more with this, here's what I know to be true, it helps shift patterns neurologically.
Damn. Yeah. That's so true, because if I just tell myself something that matters to me, like a viral clip or if someone says something negative, it could seep in past just telling myself. Well, if I have a structural rebuild.
Right. Yeah. So you can get really good at managing the negative thoughts. You're going to play whack-a-mole the rest of your life.
Damn.
You'll get really good at managing your negative thoughts. To go deeper, you got to figure out, why are you thinking negative in the first place? And you've got to restructure that so it's not there to get whack-a-mole all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to think about why my 14-year-old self doesn't think I'm pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure there's instances your brain will go back to that pulls up you thinking you're not pretty, hearing those messages where you're like your mom saying, I'm not pretty, but everybody says we look just alike.
Right.
Those are the things that started weaving that in for you. And so it's going back and reprocessing some of those things.
Through
you could do parts work, embody your teenage self, brain spot with that part. EMDR,
damn,
all that kind of stuff. Narrative therapy, even what's the current narrative from the perspective of this teenage part?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then what do you want to rewrite that narrative as?
That makes me nervous.
But even you like to meditate, right?
I do.
Do some visual meditation where you visualize this teenage self in front of you and connecting, making eye contact, and then start offering her from your adult self, what do you want her to know now? If you could, I like to imagine sometimes when I'm doing work like that with myself with the inner younger part is that I'm sitting face to face and I'm like a parent for her now. And it's almost like, what do I want you to know? Like, I have the knowledge of our future and this part of me doesn't until I sit down and share that with her and give her that knowledge that she doesn't have back when it happened.
Damn.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes so much sense. And it's, yes, that's so lovely. Because one of the things that hurt me thinking about this was like, you know how everybody says they'll look back at old pictures of themselves and be like, why was I so hard on myself? I was so fucking hot or beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
I think about that now. And I also think about my relationship with Alex, where every chance that beautiful soul gets, he's calling me beautiful, princess, gorgeous, like all these things I want to hear. And I'm like, not that that's where I need to get it from, but I'm missing those moments.
Yeah.
Because they're just going, whew.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you think I'm pretty, you know.
So the next time he does that, I want you to stop and pull up like, all right, teenage self, did you hear that? Can you receive that? Somatically receive it.
Damn.
But be like, here, this is like a gift to you. Receive it. And then you might start to see where she might be resisting. Like,
already she's like, already. I wasn't going to say it, but
I can't receive that.
Yeah.
That feels so out of whatever. And so processing with that with your therapist maybe would be helpful.
Oh my God, the work's never done.
Help her receive it. There's a beautiful meditation I like to do with clients. And it's where you you're walking through like the woods and you have a backpack on. And it's like you're carrying something heavy in the backpack. And you come across and you see a pier out over the water. And there's someone sitting at the end of the pier that loves you just the way you are. Is a very safe person. And they've been waiting on you to come see them. And so you walk out and you sit down and this is a meditation. So you get to kind of visualize who might this be. And it could, I've had Jesus, past grandparents that have passed on, or someone living in your present life. But they go and sit down and they have a gift for you. And so you're visualizing and just letting your subconscious kind of show you what is this gift they're holding. And can you receive it into your hands? And sometimes there's a block of like, I couldn't receive it, or I couldn't even imagine what a gift would be. But also we take what's in the backpack out and we put it in the water and kind of send it downstream. And sometimes we can't let go of what's in the backpack, right? I can't let it go for some reason, but that's where the processing needs to happen. That's just a guide to tell you either you might have a hard time receiving something or you might have a hard time letting go of something, or both. But that gives you indication of like where you need to do a little bit more work.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. But then you get up, you say goodbye to this person, you thank them for the gift, you put your backpack on, notice if it's lighter or not, and then you go back into the woods. So it's a really cool meditation to do. And this gives you some insight on like when you notice that,
I
so you could do some
love
of that.
Okay, I really thought, there's a part of me I'm like, I really wish this was a quicker solve.
Deep healing's never just a quick fix. The things we do to manage our symptoms are the quick fixes. But
Things we do to manage it, yeah.
we learn helpful skills. We need those. So don't get me wrong of like, I'm not poo-pooing those, but they're always meant to work in the moment when something happens. And the deeper work is like, let's go figure out why this is happening all the time so we can not have to spend so much energy managing it all the time. Yeah.
Damn, that's so nice.
You got to learn the skills first before you can have the capacity to go into them.
Yeah, that's so true. Oh my God, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's really nice, and yeah.
It's not easy.
It's so not, dude. It's so not. And, all these, like, I've been getting sometimes trolls on the internet will be like, oh, it's a man, like calling me a man or whatever.
What?
I mean, they're just, who cares about them? I mean, I do. Obviously, I'm talking about them. But, I don't know, some parts of me have been like, okay, what if I'm a man?
What? Tell me, you got to say more. What if I'm a man? Do
they know something I don't? I guess just my brain has been like, okay, so what's wrong if they think I look like that? What's wrong with looking like that?
Yeah.
You know?
You don't look like a man.
Thank you so much. I know that.
You are curvy in all the right places. You have long, beautiful hair. I'm not just saying this just to make you feel better, but your hair is gorgeous, and your energy, like, amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I know that. I know I don't look like a man.
No.
They say, and I know these people say this on literally any woman's.
Yeah.
Any woman who's doing anything empowering, we're gonna call her a man. Yes. So I know that it's just part of all the, you know. I mean, I'll get a comment now that's like, "What is funny about this?" And literally, that might have hurt me before, but now I can be like, block, because I've done that work around.
Yes.
You don't define, like, I'm funny, babe.
Do yourself a favor and go look at the profile picture of whoever comments on your looks, because you will kind of laugh and be like, they don't need to say so at all about
so
what
true.
looks look like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and I love when people screenshot. They do those reels where it's like they show the comment and then they show the person's in, like, picture. I'm like, oh.
I've done that sometimes, but that's what they want a lot of the times. Mm-hmm. They'll be like, oh.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Just take some medicine.
Oh, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay. That's what they'll want, so I'm like, oh, I'm just going to block them. But I just thought of something else that I wanted to mention about this beauty thing. Mm-hmm. I'm making money now to where I can do things to improve the way I look. Your face.
Yeah.
Must choose my words wisely around therapists.
Keep going. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do things that make you. I love a spray tan. Mm-hmm. I love to be tan.
Yeah.
I joke with my partner, I want to be as brown as he is. Sometimes I get close with the spray tan. Oh my God. I'm like, the tanner, the better.
It's February.
I don't know. I'll wait till summertime.
Okay.
I'm blinding all the other ones. I'll blind you with my legs. But I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to do those things. But I feel like there's a mixed bag of, like, the feedback you get from people around, like, this is okay, or you should be okay and not want to do those things.
Right.
Or it's okay, and it's do whatever you want to do.
Yes. I think I'm just trying to check in with myself and take things slow. Like, I've been getting laser hair removal, and that is fine. That's just because...
Where do you get laser hair removal?
I get it on my chin. I get it on my happy trail. I get it on my, like, bikini. Uh-huh. That's it.
That's nice. So you don't have to shave?
So, no. I've only been doing... I've done it, like, 4 sessions, but they say once you're done with the 12, you're good.
Nice.
Dude.
Are you doing your legs?
No.
You're doing just this area.
Just the bikini. So because summer, I would always get anxiety around, like, fucking great, I'm not ready. When did summer get here? I have to put on a bathing suit now? And it'd be out with family or friends. It's never when I'm home, like, I'm going to go to the pool.
Yeah.
It's like do or die moment. Did that bird just die?
I don't think it died, but it did hit the window.
Okay, people have bigger problems.
Yes. Just flew into
Some
the
birds
window.
are just crashing into glass.
I put a bird feeder outside, and it's been kind of crazy in my backyard for the past couple of days.
They're like, oh my God.
Darcy chased a squirrel around the yard and in the garage this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think we're not going to have a bird feeder longer.
Yeah, it's kind of chaos out there.
Yeah, sorry.
I know.
That's the second time a bird's hit the window though, since I put that out there. So
Jesus Christ.
something's making me go crazy.
Anyway, so the laser hair removal, whatever, but like, you see this bump on the end of my nose?
Nope.
Well,
I mean,
you see this thing right here? This skin-colored, like, bump?
oh, once I move at the right angle, I can see it. So, yes, I see it. But you want to get that removed?
You heard that. She said it. She sees it. Yes.
It's the same color as her skin.
And it's got to go. It's always, like, okay, so I had a thing done. It used to be kind of turn red sometimes. Mm-hmm. I had a laser done where it killed the blood vessel going through there, so it won't turn red anymore. And then the guy was like, oh, and now I'm going to get it removed completely, which
That's not going to make it a spot on your nose?
No. It's just going to take it off.
Okay.
I'm so excited about it. So excited about it. My granny had it.
Oh, really? In the same spot?
It's like a hereditary thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, so cool.
So you're going to erase part of your heritage.
Girl, so don't get me started. Well, my granny had it, and I remember before I got it, I remember her hating it and being like, this fucking thing, you know?
So that wasn't there the whole time, your whole life?
It developed, no.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my mom, I saw her recently, not too long ago, and she was like, we were like close to each other, and she goes, what's that shit on the end of your nose?
Mom!
And I was like,
Yeah.
So that got me thinking about it again. But anyway, I'm getting it taken off, and I'm very excited. But when I did the consultation, he's like, you know,
what else do you want to do?
Oh my God, take it all off. Just leave me as a little head. But he was like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a comedian. And he's like, oh, well, then none of this, you know. He was like, oh, it might be red for a little bit, but he's like, you can make a joke about that, like you're Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I was like, no, I'm not going to be joking about my looks.
Yeah.
But it's just, there's a lot wrapped up in there where I'm like, I want to be careful because I'm excited about this, and it's not that deep, you know? I'm just excited for it to be gone. Boom. But I am aware of, like, once I start making more and more money.
Are you going to give into pressure of, like, changing things about yourself?
It's just a little injection here. It's just a little shift here. It's like, I just want to be aware. And there's a part of me, too, that, like, oh, once I get this bump off the end of my nose, am I going to feel... And that's the 14-year-old... That's the thing that we just talked about, where I got to... Because it's not about the nose.
Yeah.
But there is that feeling of, like, am I going to just fucking feel amazing? And, like...
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not going to solve...
No.
What we just talked about.
The bigger problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just...
But what if it could be both? It could make you feel better, and it's not going to solve things. There's other work to do to solve that. But it could still be something that makes you feel better, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's very true.
And help, Botox and what... Nothing against filler, but I've seen some scary things with filler.
People are trying to look exactly alike.
Yeah. So, but do what feels okay for you. Like, I think it could be helpful if you were my client. I would say, let's, as you anticipate maybe some of this coming up, decide some, like, kind of bumpers for you to move through. You know,
That's
like
good.
What would feel good? Like, is it injections are okay, but plastic surgery is not? Like, what feels good for you and what doesn't?
Damn.
Boundaries, like if it's gonna enhance my look versus change my look, like, you know, you can just contemplate that kind of stuff. So then you have something to come back to when maybe you start feeling some pressure for other stuff.
That's good advice. Right now, I feel like that's like trying to go off sweets and having cookies in the kitchen, where I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And then it's like, if someone's like, I'll give you a deal. We'll take off your eyebrows. And put in gold. Yeah, I'm like, well, that's what scares me a little bit. Because here's the thing. I know people, like, I've had a comic tell me, huge comic, be like, we're comedians. It doesn't matter if we're hot or not. We're comics. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're also humans. But I want to be in TV shows and movies. And I've been watching movies and being like, I have to be a certain type of, I have to look a certain way. I have to be a certain type of pretty to be in movies. But I'll see somebody with like a...
Have you seen some of the people on the TV? I'm not comparing you to that.
I don't want to be in those shows.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't... There's so much narrative wrapped up for you in what all this is supposed to be and look like.
No, you're so right. All this that I'm saying, extra, is tying right back to the... It's just stuff around this thing. My 14-year-old self is just like, I could have said it. Yep, I could have said that. Yep. What else you got?
So that might be something like when these things come up, is this 14-year-old me or adult me?
We're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Okay, listen, if you've ever laid in bed sweating your entire body away at 2 a.m., just wishing a cool breeze would rescue you, Cozy Earth has heard our cries.
I mean, truly, as a trauma therapist, I preach system regulation. And one underrated tool, good sleep. Cozy Earth's bamboo viscose sheets actually help with that. They're temperature regulating, soft as hell, and my whole body just exhales when I climb in.
Same. I travel all the time for comedy, so I've slept on some suspect mattresses. When I get back and I slip into those Cozy Earth sheets, girl, I nearly wept. And don't even get me started on their studio pants. It's like pajamas get a glow up.
And you can try it all risk-free for 100 nights. That's a whole summer. Plus, they've got a 10-year warranty, which is longer than some relationships I've had.
Save it for the pod. So upgrade your sleep, your loungewear, and your sanity. Go to CozyEarth.com and use our code if that's IF for 40% off. I'm not kidding. You feel the difference the first night.
Sleep cooler.
Lounge lighter. Stay cozy.
Okay, let's get back to the conversation.
You know, trying to decipher where is this coming from? Is this because I would feel this would make me feel good versus I feel like I need to do this to be accepted?
Whoa. Damn.
There's a difference. And so you could, if you were going to go get a nose job, if it was because that would truly make me feel better, go for it. If it was, I need to do this so I can do this or be accepted this way, the energy of that is way off and so different. So it's not about having plastic surgery good or bad. Look at the intention of why. I think feels more important.
No, that's such a good point.
Yeah. So don't tell yourself, no, I can't. I'm not going to do any whatever to myself. And because that means you're not accepting yourself. I don't think that's what that means. Just look at the intention of why you want to do it.
That's so true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm going to answer this myself, but I just have to say it out loud to hear it. Right now I'm thinking, how do I be goofy Amber, no makeup, hair how I like it, t-shirt, jeans, comic, and be absolutely gorgeous girl at the same time?
You're not? That already? That was a real question.
No, but felt like a statement, you know? That's an interesting question. You're not already? I'm not already? Damn.
Because I've been like when you did the Netflix thing, had your Netflix party, or I've seen you where you are more done up.
Yeah.
You have your eyelashes and your makeup and your cute outfit and your hair done. Like that, like you were celebrating something big. Right? Versus there's times where you're more naturally you. You're the same you. But one, like, I'm not a huge dresser upper or makeup person. Like, but when I'm doing something fun or like to celebrate or go out, then I'm going to put a little bit more effort into for the occasion.
Yes.
And I feel like if you get a TV show, they'll do you out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah.
You want to, there's just a bad, there's days where I have nothing, but emotionally, I need to feel better. So I do my makeup. I wear a cute outfit around the house. Just because it helps me feel better.
But see, here's where and maybe this is tied back, but I'm like, why does it have to be makeup that makes us feel that way?
It doesn't have to be, but it can be what does it for you. Your clothes make you feel a certain way.
Yeah.
I can tell.
But see, those, you know, when you saw me in that cuter outfit at Netflix, I like that kind of stuff I don't like to wear on stage because I can't move in the way I want to, you know? So, like, that's the kind of for me where I'm like, I like my hair tied back because I sweat. I like no makeup because I sweat and I rub my face and I, you know, it's like, it's not going to stay. It's like I can't meld those two. If it was going to
stay, would you want to wear makeup and have your hair looking cute?
If someone else did it, I don't.
So there's waterproof makeup that you can do.
But I have to learn how to do it and that stuff. I'm like, I ain't got the time for that shit.
Well, then pay attention to that. Then don't do it.
Yeah. When
you do it, can be on a special occasion. find clothes that you feel comfortable and sexy in. Those do exist.
Yeah. I mean, when I put on jeans and a t-shirt, I'm like, QT. I'm relying on outside. It's like you said with when I did therapy way back when and was looking for reassurance. I look in the mirror and be like, I love that t-shirt and jeans on you. You look sexy. You look cute. I like the way you look.
And you've worked with the stylist before.
Yeah.
Tell them, find me, I want these kinds of outfits. Give me some casual, fun, sexy outfits, t-shirt and jeans.
Right.
Find me some comfortable, more sexy, and give them an idea what that feels like for you. I mean, a no bra thing is great for you. It's very cute.
Yeah, there will be no bra. Yeah, and whatever I choose.
And so have them, that's where you spend money on that.
Truly.
Tell them, like, bring me options and let me pick.
Yeah.
Do stuff like that. I'll go with you. We can go to a makeup place and let them do your makeup and show you.
Yeah, something easy.
Yeah.
I've had artists do that before where it's like, you just pick this and this and this, and I get overwhelmed. I'm like, when I'm about to go to a show, I'm like, I can't spend an extra. I'm already spending 2 hours before thinking about my jokes. I don't want to take an extra hour before that. And I think the thing is inside.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. You know what I'm
Pay
saying?
attention to that, yeah. I think you look fine without makeup.
Because
Most people
I love
are
without
jealous that they like. My goal is to look like a no makeup look.
Exactly.
So you have really even skin tone. You have natural color right here. Like, yeah.
That's I love, like, I'll look at myself in a video and I'll be like, oh my God, I will literally in the video be like, I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm so beautiful.
I love it.
Like, I know, it's just, yeah.
But like, even like having your nails done is a thing for you.
Yeah.
And I know you've had eyelashes on. I don't think you have them right now, but
No.
those, like, I can tell you got a little when you have them on. So just find little things like that
That's true.
that enhances your natural beauty.
That's so true. And fix my insides. Just talk to that girl.
You got therapy for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that because I just don't want to miss moments.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss this moment.
Yeah.
Of being 24 and
24?
yes.
Oh, you were joking.
No, I'm being serious.
I was like, I know I'm not that much older than you.
I will say, in the comments, I like make this joke that I cut up from my Netflix special. It was like, aren't you 45 or aren't you whatever? And people will be like, you're not 45. And they're like, guys, I Googled it. She's 27. And everybody's commenting, she's 27, she's 27. And I'm just letting that shit run.
You're not 27?
Yes, I am.
I don't know how old you are. I don't know. I've never asked.
Hell yes.
They're like, no, but my co-host is. I literally was asking all of my group their birthdays with the year.
Oh, God.
I had to provide it for something. And they're all like 90-something, 90-something. And I was like, well,
Well,
I feel old.
I was drinking when you were born.
Miss 1980.
Hell yeah.
I was just like, oh.
Oh. Do you, I mean,
an
I know you were talking about your weight fluctuation,
Oh, yeah.
but did you have to go through any of this, or were you always just a beautiful child?
I've
Beautiful,
never
confident
had to
child.
worry about what I eat until the past year or two.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I've always eaten healthy anyway. I mean, I have a sweet tooth for sure.
Yeah.
But I just don't really keep much
Indulge.
around for that. Yeah. I'll get sick if I eat too much of it. Like, it'll make me feel sick. But, yeah, I've never had to worry about that part of, like, as far as body size goes.
Wow.
My metabolism did me well for a long time.
Up until the last 2 years. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but it's such a big difference. And like with the chronic illness stuff going from, I mean, I've gained 35 to 40 pounds in a year.
Damn.
Very quickly. And just feeling like your body's out of control and you're just like, I don't know what to do. And then you've got to work on, like, when you look in the mirror, you're like, I don't recognize, this does not feel like me.
Wow.
And then dealing with, like, am I still attractive? You know, is my partner still attracted to me? Like, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so working through that constant acceptance of body I mean, and then in growing up, just like I heard somebody say, at some point, every woman has to contend with their body in some way. Like come to terms with like either it's not going to work the way it's supposed to, it's not going to look the way you want it to, or feel like it's supposed to. Like we always we have to contend with it in some way, and I feel like that's, as a younger person, you know you compare yourself, and like I was not I had no curves until when I hit my 30s. I got curvy, and I was like, I love this. Yes. They called me Skeeter because they said I had skeeter bites, mosquito bites for boobies when I was younger. But then I developed more. But by the time I was like hitting my 30s, I was curvy everywhere, and I was like, I feel so womanly. I love it. And so I still love the curves. But just the weight and just your clothes not fit. To me, having clothes that you feel good in and that fit you are so huge on how you feel about, like...
Dude.
Because if I try to squeeze myself into something and I'm uncomfortable and I feel like I'm just busting out of my clothes, you don't feel good about yourself.
That's why going shopping fucking sucks.
When I have, like, something that fits, I feel comfortable and hits my curves in the right... You know, accentuates things you want that you like and...
Right.
You know. And so... That, I think, is a really big, important thing. That's, to me, self-care.
Yes.
Self-care.
How have you been, like, shopping? Have you felt like... Yeah.
It's not fun. That's another thing, because I used to love shopping. I could just grab anything and it'd fit me.
What?
Like, that's... I've like, wow, I took this for granted.
Wow.
But, yeah, I could just grab anything. I was always the same size. And then it was like... Now, as a bigger person, like heavier weight and curves, like it just, your size is all over the place.
All over the fucking place, dude.
with different, you know, brands and things like that. And so it's really trying to figure out. And for right now, no jeans for me. Like elastic waists.
Yeah.
Like I want comfortable, and you can find comfortable clothes that are professional that doesn't look like you're walking around in sweatpants all the time.
Right.
And just, I don't like, there's a sensory thing for me. I don't like tight things anyway. I never have.
Right.
And so having clothes that fit in the way that feels comfortable for me too feels important. But yeah, going shopping is not fun anymore. I'm like, this sucks.
How are you, like, are you having to do any, like, talking to a former self, or is it all just, like, in the present moment dealing? Processing.
It's more present moment. Past self didn't have a problem with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all like now. And there's a fine line between, like, you know, we kind of talk like, I know, like, I can think of myself as beautiful and I need to I get to determine what that is. But yeah, you still just, to me, just, it feels more like I don't have any control over my body and what it's doing. And that it feels more tied to that kind of stuff versus, like, if I don't know, being 45, you kind of don't care too much about what other people think in that sense. It's kind of like, I care if my partner, you know, I've said I weighed way less when we started dating, and I'm a lot bigger now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know that we're human, and he reassures me, you know, which is kind, but that's where that has played out, if at all. Otherwise, it's just like, you just don't feel comfortable.
How do you gain back control, or a sense of control?
I mean, doing like getting a tan makes me feel better. I'm like, I joke and say, if I'm going to be bigger, I'm going to be tan and bigger.
Yes.
Like, it makes me feel better. I think everybody looks prettier with a tan. But that's just my idea. I'm not saying everybody needs to be tan to be pretty. I think there's all kinds of colors of skin are pretty.
Yeah.
But for me, that makes me feel better. I feel like I look healthier. And so it's things like that. I have spent the money on, I'm like, I don't want to buy new clothes for a long time because I'm like, I'm going to get better and get back into my clothes because I have a closet full of clothes I can't wear.
Damn.
That I like, but I can't wear them.
Is that, like, putting pressure on yourself, though?
It was at first.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like I've had to also kind of contend with I have a chronic illness that I have to care more about getting healthy versus losing weight.
So are you buying new clothes now?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have one section in my closet that are the clothes I wear.
I know you're just holding on to those others.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like part of it's like it's keeping the hope alive that I'm, and not that skinny is healthy, but the weight gain is a contributor to what I'm dealing with.
Right.
And so we'll see. But I'll be okay if that never happens either. I want to feel strong in my body.
Yes. Yes.
Versus, it's not necessarily about being skinny. I mean, yeah, I would love it if I lost some weight. But I don't feel strong right now. Like, and I want enough energy back so that I can like exercise and lift weights. Because
Yes.
I like want my muscles to feel strong again.
Oh, that's a good goal.
Yeah. So
interesting. Like, we're all going through so fucking much, dude. This is all happening while we're walking in the grocery store or interacting with another human.
yeah.
It's like, we're just all going through so much.
Yeah. We need to be kind to each other.
Truly. Truly.
Yeah. And that's what people that comment, it just, the things that they comment, that I see people commenting, and I'm like, man, you have no idea. Because, I mean, normally I'm talking in conversation with people that are on the receiving end of
Right.
some of these things. It's just not being kind.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I don't get a lot of mean comments because they get drowned out by all the good ones. But I think I'm like, if that person saw the DM that I just got about how I saved someone's life with my comedy, that they had the hardest week and didn't know if they were going to make it through. I'm like, you could be on that side, but you're choosing to be on the blocked side.
Yeah.
And that sucks for you. Because this is a fun place over here.
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
yeah. Thank you for talking with me about this.
Yeah, of course.
I truly value your insight. And your insight. Because on the way here, I was like, I'm going to be sobbing through this whole thing. But I feel like I gained some perspective quicker than I imagined I would.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I hope you gain something out of it.
Yeah.
I hope you feel beautiful and loved.
And define your own sense of what that is.
Yeah, that's a huge thing. That's not just a quick thing. That's a huge, like, writing, meditate. That's a big task. If someone was like, build your dream home inside to outside. That's like you can't just do that quick unless you've thought about it.
Yeah.
And really visualized it.
And practiced it.
Yeah. So fun. I get to learn and do new things.
It's okay to pause, too. You don't always have to be working and healing. Sometimes the pause is the healing that needs to happen. Giving yourself a break from it.
See, and that's part. I'm only going to therapy once a month now, and I was really excited because even then I'm like, maybe I don't go to therapy for a little bit, and then something like this will come up, and I'm like, God damn it!
You can handle this. You have the tools.
You're right.
It's okay for you to still be in therapy, but therapy's not the only way to heal things.
What?
I mean, it's a really helpful way.
Yeah.
And it's needed for some things. But I would say, I mean, my goal for clients is that I just want to arm you with enough skills you can handle it when it comes. Like, you know how to move through it. And, like, I have this one client, love her to death, and I remember when she was, like, bringing up she wanted to be done with therapy. And she was like, well, I was thinking through stuff, and I thought through it on my own. She was like, I was able to get an outcome on my own. I was like, wonderful. That's the goal. And she was like, I think I can, I'm going to try to handle life solo for a little bit. I was like, love it. I'm here if you need anything.
Yeah.
And so now it's every once in a while when something big pops up and she just wants to process it with another human. You know, I know her story. We've worked together for a long time. And so it's just, she could have worked through this stuff on her own.
Yeah.
I know she has the skills to do it, but sometimes having the support and the witness is all you need. And you can get that with a therapist, with a trusted friend or safe partner, your podcast co-host. You have lots of avenues for that.
That's so true. That is so true. Don't
don't trauma dump on your friends.
Yes.
But there's just a lot of things that can help you heal.
That's so real. I mean, like you were saying, like meditating, talking, facing that young self. Like I can do that all at my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have experience doing it all. And that's where, if you don't know how to do that stuff, therapy is a great place to start and to learn. But it's not like you graduate from therapy and you're like, your life's going to be good now.
Yeah.
It's just you now have the tools to deal with it, and you're not managing your past at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
'Cause think about it. Every time you have something you get triggered, it is something from the past getting triggered.
Yeah.
And brought into the present. So you got to deal with that and what's actually happening. And I think the goal is we want to process enough of this past stuff that feels really always is getting pulled up into the present for us, so that we can just deal with life as it comes.
Yeah.
And that's the post-traumatic growth. You learn those skills to where you can now just handle life.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're in it, but you feel like when past stuff comes up, and you're not in therapy, like this standard how people think of therapy. You don't have a therapist.
Oh, did you say I don't have a therapist?
you.
I'm actually going to therapy next week.
Oh my God, are you so excited?
Yeah. In fact, I went to this person during COVID.
Oh my God.
But he's an older man
Oh.
that he calls himself a spiritual companion. But he's a therapist. I think he's Buddhist, and he also is Catholic. And he does like Tai Chi, meditation.
Exactly who
type
you would
stuff.
be going to.
But you go during COVID, I would go to his house and we'd walk around his neighborhood
Oh, I love
and
that.
talk. And so, and he works out of his house. So I'm going to meet with him next
Are
week.
you excited?
I am.
My God.
Yeah.
I love therapy.
It's the kind of talk therapy that I think is helpful to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you know so many tools.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's more, it feels like a meditative thing. He's one of those where he doesn't have to say much and you feel like you learn so much from just being in their presence.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like reading an amazing book where you're just like highlighting all this stuff.
Yeah.
A question I was going to ask, like, I guess this is a thing for myself to figure out, but when a past thing comes up, like I know this beauty thing is from 14-year-old, but I also have skills to process it. But if I feel like I should go to therapy to learn more tools to process it, that's when I should go to therapy.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. But something could come up from the past, and it's obviously happening right now, and you could handle that on your own.
I think that's individually decided, but yeah.
Got you. And what a freedom that is to decide.
Absolutely.
Truly, thank you so much. It made me feel better.
I'm glad. I think you're beautiful inside and out.
Oh, thank you. Before I have to say this, I had an interview before this, and it was with a comic, and he was like if you're a woman, and he goes, picture that you're a woman.
He said that to you?
To me. And I didn't have time enough to process it to be like, what was that weird joke?
Yeah.
But he doesn't know.
They're like, okay, pretend that you're a dude.
If I had a moment to be like, what was that?
Yeah.
But things happen so quick. But he doesn't know that that's even to him.
For you.
Right. He probably doesn't even think I was trying to call you a man. It was probably some weird joke that he just didn't land.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you have no idea how that just hit on my track of like, you know? So that's part of the reason I came in. Like,
We both just kind of stay quiet, look at each other, and just, are you okay? I don't know, are you okay?
And then I look in, she's
about?
plugging stuff up. She's just looking down like, I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
My heart was racing. I was just like, let's just breathe and sit. I'm like, stay calm. We're getting into a calm Zen zone when we do this.
I'm grateful that you're my co-host. I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and they're like, how did you meet Melanie? And just recounting the story is so funny. And
I Googled her.
yeah.
Or no, not me. You just Googled.
I just Googled trauma therapy Nashville, and the fact that I was like, I want you on the podcast, you're like, yeah, I'll do an episode. I'm like, no, forever.
I was like, oh.
And then it worked out so perfectly.
Yes. Do you remember the coffee shop when we first met?
I do.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Kaylee.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
It was-
I felt like we were best friends when we left.
Truly.
I was like, was that too much?
No.
Like, did we just love bomb each other? Like, no, I really love her.
Oh, truly, I do love you so much.
I love you too.
I think about you a lot, and I'm always sending you love and
Thank you. Same.
wishing you peace.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I think we bring each other peace. Because
Yes.
even though we do show up a lot of times being like, like in a
Yeah.
whirlwind from our lives, I don't know. When we settle in and start talking, I immediately start to feel calmer and
Same.
just settled in. So,
My cup fills up.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
What a
medicine
blessing.
for each other.
I love you.
And we love y'all.
Truly do. Thank you for listening. I mean, this has been, we love you. Thank you for listening to this podcast, sharing it with your friends, being on our subscription. It's $5 a month. If you're not on it, join it.
And when you hear this episode, go hit the comments hard with telling Amber how beautiful she is.
Aww.
We want to remind her of that.
You're my best friend. Yeah, do that.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to I'm Fine, It's Fine podcast. If you would like to continue to support us, please join us on our new Substack, which you can find at imfineitsfine.substack.com. We would love to connect with you there, and we can't wait to continue to grow this podcast with you. Additional ways you can support the podcast are by following us on Instagram at I'm Fine, It's Fine podcast. And you can follow Amber at Amber Autry Comedy, as well as Melanie at Trauma Therapy Nashville. We look forward to your support.